I don't know if she's in here, but someone actually has a property that I'm going to look into that I think would work for co-living in Chicago. And it's just because the market's there. Everybody is doing it. Why? Because assisted living, affordable housing is going to be the new thing.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I'm here, Sergio.
Oh, Alexis,
It's
thank you
Alexis.
for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out still. Yes. So
I was just listening in. It's interesting because I literally just came across Minnie last night, and this all 24, not even 24 hours ago. So it's just interesting hearing a little bit from Canada. Obviously, I'm, as you mentioned, out of Chicago, and it's true. You kind of dating around and finding your people and your networks. And I actually just had a good, hour and a half call today. I'm going to be partnering for assisted living. I don't know if that's something anybody has heard of down here in the States for our seniors. It's a growing population. Next 10, 15 years here, it's only going up and up. And this partner of mine, he's already got 12 in the portfolio and going through that growing pain. You start getting to a certain scale and it's like, I need my people. I need more people. I can't go at this alone. So he's really responsible for like capital raising and the funding, and he's been cranking away at that. And now I'm coming from the healthcare, community relations, investor relations aspect to really hone in on stabilizing buildings as they grow. Basically, acquire one, fill it up, create that wait list, and then rinse and repeat and building that in the area here. So that's kind of my new exciting project right now. And then also on the side, I have some people I'm going to be possibly partnering with down in Houston. I've got family down in Houston, Texas. So I got two things in the pipeline. So kind of exciting there.
What are they doing in Houston? Fill me in, because that's where this guy's going to be there shortly.
Down in Houston, they got an offer submitted and accepted. It's about 100 units down there in Houston, a little over somewhere around the 10 to 12 million, I believe. They haven't really shared or finalized things until it's in the next phase. They're going to be looking for, capital there. They are at, they say on our call today, around 20 deals between RV parks, storage, multifamily, from all the way up to the 200s, variety of portfolio there, which is kind of why I'm like, okay, you know what? Don't put myself just in one tunnel. And I'm only doing this cohabitating apartments. There's a lot of different opportunities. And like I said, even before I got my license as an OT, I had this desire for senior living. And now it's just with my experience and background, just really provides more value in that caring, personal, it's not the money, it's the caring for our seniors and giving them a better quality of living versus these big box buildings of 100 to 200 apartments with a handful of a nurse and maybe a director and 2 or 3 caregivers for the building. It really gives more personalized care, and I think it's a really neat concept. Not one that says, and definitely that's part of what I'm doing as community relations, investor relations, to kind of up here in the Chicagoland and the Wisconsin market as well.
Awesome. I don't know if I asked you this, but you're not part of the sub-2 community, are you?
I'm not, no.
Are you familiar with
I was looking into it a little bit as you guys were kind of, but no, I'm not part of that group.
I will speak on behalf of the sub-2 community, and I will tell you what it did for me and why I really know I can help you on your property and anything else that you need. This community has been the only community I have ever been involved with that people actually want to help. They actually care. And if it's not me that can help you, somebody else can help you. And this community, somebody else in sub-2 help me out here. But I believe there's 20,000 members, like crazy. It is absolutely crazy. There's a number amount of resources that you can't say you can't get something done. So like, for example, like as a property that she's trying to offload, there's no way in hell that you can give this property in sub-2 and then not come out of it with a deal. There's just no way. Someone is going to help you get what you want and better. And they're going to do that in a way where they're going to help you. And it's not to do anything in their favor. It's to help you. You are their priority. and that's it. It is can speak so highly on this community, and anybody else in here sub two can back me up on this. I'm telling you, I didn't have time to look at your property yet, but
Yeah.
I am excited to sit with you, talk to you about it, go through it, talk about numbers. Co-living, if you don't know what that is, I'm sure you have to know what that is, but it's kind of like assisted living, but a little bit different. Um, Opportunity there at your house, like a lot. Like you can do so much there. You just have to present this to the right buyers, buyers that know what they want to do with that property. So you are doing it right, which is not listing on the market. You are doing it right, which is not using an agent, because you yourself can do what an agent does, which is the paperwork. I can do everything an agent does, and I'm not here to talk bad about agents.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh at it because they don't do anything. They really don't.
Yeah. Already, our attorney, ready to go to like get our last house. So she's got all the documents. She
That's
did this
it.
purchase for us, and she did my sale for me on my last house just with our attorney. And it's like it's so easy and smooth, and like, but I want to get more people, more eggs in the
Come on,
basket. Like,
don't need to. Exactly.
yeah,
Keep it for yourself. That's
yeah.
the way it is. Um,
Keeping
no,
my rate from last years ago. She's not gonna raise her rate. And she's like, and I can save you money from the seller side because I've already got all this stuff that I'd have to pay to get from, and properties and taxes and all that. She's already got it all. So it's cool.
that's awesome. Well, I
Yes.
appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah.
Funny how you literally just said you met Minnie 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
And it just says how
Yeah.
powerful
Taking
that woman is.
action. Yeah.
Just thank you for coming. Just because of Minnie, like if it wasn't for Minnie, you wouldn't be here. And because of her,
Appreciate Alex.
right now, because of Minnie, is
Yeah.
going to get what you want.
Yeah.
So that's for sure.
Just kind of quick question, kind of in
Yeah.
this space. It sounds like you're looking at more in the States. Then what type of like investments, real estate portfolios, like just kind of synopsis, kind of I'm new to the group here.
What's your question towards what am I doing?
Yeah, when you say, portfolio, like I heard RV park, but anything where, as far as
So
investments or anything and everything, businesses, small businesses, large properties, like
everything you just mentioned, that's what we do.
okay.
Everything and anything. There is not a single thing out there we do not do. And we do everything and buy everything creative. Creative, it's finding what the problem is and we come with the solution. So, for example, you as a seller, we figure out what it is that you're struggling with, or whatever the case may be that we are not able to get or you're struggling with. We will get that for you. Our job is to find a solution. That's what we do. We find the problem,
Okay.
we fix the solution. And that's just with everything and anything. And like I said,
Mhm.
if it's not me, it's someone else. If it like to answer your question specifically with myself,
Mhm.
I do wholesaling and fix and flips.
Okay.
I wholesale nationwide and I do fix and flips in Houston. That's why I said you'll start seeing me in Houston because I'm going to be there shortly to do the flips myself. So I'll be boots on ground in
Gotcha.
Houston. That's what I do. So
Mhm.
what you brought to me is somewhat something I can help you with. But again,
Mhm.
if it's not me, there's someone else that will. And it's not
Gotcha.
that hard to get. It is just a simple ask. Like I said, Nido, if you do not ask, we don't know. So whatever it is that anybody you have, bring it to people's attention for them to know. Or else you ain't gonna get what you want because we can't help you without knowing. It's very simple. People just overthink a lot of things.
You know what? I connected with Alexis yesterday because she mentioned assisted living. And Sergio, I was talking to Alexis about, I feel like I ended up it's going to be an assisted living. It's like no other not here to like. I think one of the reasons why I connect with Sergio is because our value aligns and we don't expect anything in return. And we actually just met in January. And then I got in touch with him so quickly and then, voiced out like Nito, this could maybe applies to you as well. I voiced out what I wanted as my goal and then he provided me with a solution. So if I never voiced out what I needed, what I wanted, then none of this would have happened. And also to add on what Sergio mentioned earlier, he has encountered a lot of no's. And so if you know that you need to have 100 no's to a yes, you want to go through the no so quickly that you can get a yes. And also, every single no is not a rejection. You can reflect on the no, on what you can learn from it. So take it as a learning opportunity because no single human being is the same, right? So it's a no today doesn't mean that it's got to be a no tomorrow. But yeah, that's just my take on this.
So thank you for
Well,
sharing.
the other piece, if you guys know anyone, for some like capital where you're not waiting for a return, 1 year, 2 years, it's it's a monthly return. You're looking at raising close to 300,000, some working capital to build things up if anyone's interested in living.
So do you guys have the project under contract, like a deal done?
So it's for stabilization. So we're gonna be building it up. Property's already purchased in cash, it's stabilizing. And it's just a direct,
What's the return,
what's that?
return on investment?
1%. So $100,000 would be $1,000 every month, just passive in the bank.
Okay. I have to look into that because
Yeah.
that doesn't sound,
It's a
maybe
little
I'm
bit,
looking at it wrong. That looks really low. In an investor's eyes, 1% is not really something I've come across, but maybe I'm just looking at it wrong.
and it's not something where it's, 100,000 and then it's waiting for a development where, waiting for 12 months for it to start paying out. It's a, an instant return.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate you bringing the opportunity. I'm not going to work unless you don't bring it up, right? Like
Yeah.
the thing that I posted the other day, and this, guys, for the squad up people, this was my takeaway from the event, and this is so true. The quote is from Pace himself: "Is you're always one conversation away from changing your entire life." And that game changer, you have to believe that with everything you freaking believe. You are always one conversation away from changing your life. Doesn't matter what it is. And going back to what Minnie said about the no's, it's just no's. Just go have another conversation. You are literally one conversation from changing your life. That one deal can change your entire life. So if that person says no, guess what? That's okay. On to the next. Let me go get another conversation. So put yourself in a lot of rooms, guys. Like so much that we have. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so just I'll backtrack on Lee's
Yeah.
off there. I don't know, like, and I'm not scholared in the capital venture
Yeah.
realm at all, but like to
Yes.
15%.
Yes.
Okay.
That's,
And
we're
I
not,
don't even know what I'm
so,
talking about. Okay.
By
I just
I'm
want
not
to
talking
know.
about like a cap rate. That's kind of like initial kind of up. Kind of what had some new investors do. It's kind of like not getting feet wet, but like this kind of happens when we stabilize a property and what the returns are. And as things are building, and even preferred returns are like up to 12%. So this isn't like new acquisition. It's kind of what this assisted living and getting in just to kind of foot in for some working capital and then kind of the business is about. And then you can kind of what kind of returns when these properties are stabilized, what that return looks like. And there's for accredited investors in the fund, that alone is $100,000 minimum. But with those, you're even looking at preferred return to an investor too. But that's like if you invest in the full fund.
But there's a minimum of 100,000, you're saying?
For the main fund, not this one.
Okay.
So the initial one is just this building
I have a
working
lot of
capital.
questions for you. A
Yeah.
lot of questions. Let me start with
There's
one.
two sides to it.
Okay.
Just with these two
Take
buildings that we're doing some raising for working capital. The other ones, those are already hitting their, IRRs, preferred returns to investors, 4 times equity multiples, things like that. So there's more to it. Right now, it's just, we're looking for that initial, like I said, right around 300 to get these two going a little bit more.
I'm going to ask you a question. Don't take it personal, okay?
Okay.
Have you capital raised before?
So he does, I don't handle that piece.
Yeah. Question is
Yeah.
directed to you. Have you capital raised before?
No.
Okay. You're capital raising and you're just speaking on behalf of a partner, right? That has capital raised, correct?
Yes. And building like relations.
That's fine.
Kind of like heard of assisted living? Who's heard this residential, like that up? Because it's just an area of real estate and it's a business too. It's not just a
I
building because
understand.
you're carrying, you know.
Just gonna keep asking these questions because
Sure.
I want to get to a point where I hope it gets through to you, but without taking it personal. And
It's
guys,
not
listen,
personal. I
no, no, no,
know it
that's
comes
fine.
off
That's
new.
fine. How long have you been working with this person?
About 2 months.
Okay, this all makes sense to me. All right.
New.
So you've never capital raised before, but yet you're capital raising for someone else who has given you information or educated you on a way that they need funds for. They've explained to you what the cash out and the return on investment would be on a certain amount of investment. For example, the $100,000 that they're saying is going to be a 1% return annually, correct?
Not, okay, that's the thing, there's two components to it. The actual, like the full fund that's going into new acquisitions has the 100,000 minimum for accredited
Okay,
investors.
if I'm giving you $100,000. What is my
Mhm.
return annually?
So I guess it depends. Are we talking about the initial
This this
building?
300,000. You said that you guys are trying to raise 300,000 for this project.
Yes.
Giving you $100,000, I want to invest. What is my initial return on investment annually for this one?
Annually, so then you'd be looking at 12,000, but that would be accelerated because the sooner that the full raise is there, that stabilization kind of up the timeline. So the sooner that full raise is there, the sooner that gets stabilized and it's at full capacity. And then that money, your initial investment also gets returned to you, right?
Okay. The only thing I'm saying this and why I'm asking you this, and also for anybody that's still here listening, what I want you to understand, there's nobody, okay, I can say this confidently, there is
I'm open to
nobody
feedback.
that will invest in anything that will give a 1% return when they can just go to the bank and get a better return for 4%, 3%. People who are doing private capital, hard money lending, all that kind of stuff, you ain't going to see them do anything under 12%. You're going to see it at 15, 18, even 20%. So it had like you to talk about 1%. It doesn't
That's
make
good
sense.
feedback because that was what I kind of more on our call today. And that I was kind of more so that I understand as I'm building these relations,
Why
they
I'm
would
asking you,
expect.
yeah.
And that
So
was a little bit like, all right, I was questioning that a little bit as well because I'm in other groups and, seeing those other returns. Looking at 2 to 3% times equity multiplier and years, hold period is 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That was one of the questions that I so that kind of me to frame our next conversation, like, hey, because I told him I'm not going to my network until I get a better understanding of that.
good.
Going to go to talk to my doctor colleagues at the hospital and, I want to burn that bridge, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's this partner or a different partner, they're seeing me as the face to that,
And I hope you do it because I think you're starting to open your eyes a little bit more as to the precautions you need to take. Again, not to say that they are okay, but to me, it's 100% is a red flag. Why? Because the numbers just don't add up. It just doesn't make sense. And people who are just bad people, I've been involved myself. Okay, it happens. They will go to people who aren't properly educated on capital raising, and they will have them raise money for them, and they will get people to get loans, hard money, all that kind of stuff, to then fund the projects. And in one case, there is no project. So they just wanted you to fund or raise capital for something that it doesn't even exist. The other one that I look at is they have you convinced on the 1%. Okay, listen to this one. They have you convinced on the 1%. They now have a project that they are now getting funded for where they're going to charge, okay? You got the $100,000 charging 1%. They're going to now lend your $100,000 that you just raised for them to someone else and get 12%. So now they just made 11% on your 100,000 that they're only going to have to pay you 1%. You understand? These are things that you really need to take into consideration, and believe me, take my word for it. I have lost that. Like I'm going to say, I have lost money
I haven't
When
settled
so
on
deep,
anything with them because I
no,
said the
no,
same
and
thing. I'm like, I'm almost not thinking of the capital piece. I said, let's do some partnering on these community relations. We can kind of about that and how to
yeah,
build things up in that sense. And that you deal with the capital. You've been doing that, raising millions. That's why I kind of think about that. I was like, why are we looking for 300 to 400,000? If you're doing capital raising, why are you asking me when
you
I'm here to help with the community relations? And so it's just, still learning, sure that I'm putting myself in a good position, who has multiple in their portfolio, but at the same time, it's our face, right? It's your
yeah,
face right now. It's Lisa's face with her, but like us and our relationships with one
exactly, yeah,
another.
I
So,
can vouch in on that with Sergio. Is have you vetted the person? Like, have you actually
that's,
Googled them? Have you did a background check? Have you done your diligence on some homework? And only because, yeah, I've lost a
yeah,
lot of
trying
too.
to,
And
business marriage with something that's gonna, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't, got in with somebody, a business relationship, handed over $50,000 because this person in the community chums with high profile people. It makes you
Mm,
think that he's
mm-hmm.
high profile. Okay.
Okay.
And tells you he's got a family office and he's been in this community for 5 years, and he'll introduce you to all his contacts, and you're going to have 3 RV parks in 3 months.
Yeah.
It was a Ponzi scheme, like smoke
yep.
and mirrors. And
Yeah.
we're 50 of us that went in on this Ponzi scheme. And
My
none
hand
of us
is up with
vetted
you,
him.
Lisa. Yep.
Vetted him. And what does Pace always say? Like, we just felt so stupid that we didn't vet him.
Yes.
It just, yeah.
Say
We can,
background check. Are you running for a full background check or like
if
general?
you're, about substantial amount of money, like Google him,
Okay.
because this person has the FBI on his butt. Like, the police were called,
Okay.
credit card companies know who he is, but we didn't vet him.
Yeah.
Nothing. It
Yeah.
was so dumb,
But
right?
these are all
But you know
mistakes
what?
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate all the insight and hey,
Oh,
proceed with caution, do some vetting, question some of that
mhm.
raising on this main fund, but this additional working capital and because that was my thought is all right, well, who's gonna wanna put $300,000 down? I invest $1 million, right, in a fund.
Yeah.
Like there's a
Right.
100,000, but like why haven't gotten there since January? Like why is it now in month 3 and we haven't raised it was my thing that I'm just
Listen to your
looking
gut.
into more. So, all
great,
right,
and I'm
cool.
so
Thanks,
happy
Yeah.
you
guys.
came on today.
Yeah, and Sergio
This
knows I'm
this
selling my
call was
house.
for
I don't
you.
want to be losing that equity in a,
Worked hard for that. Money
yeah,
that I put in with this was my mom's money. She
Oh,
sold her
yeah,
house and lent me 50 grand, and
that's
it's
so sad.
gone. And so, lucky enough, I'm privileged enough, I can pay her back, but that's
It
somebody's
hurts.
money.
Yeah, it
You
hurts. I don't know how
know,
people do it.
people
I
work
don't
for
get it.
that.
yeah. All
We're
right.
just
Well,
coming at you just like, oh
no,
no, not another
yeah,
one. We can save this one.
it's an
You know what I
outsider's
mean?
view. Somebody else like someone calls it, they could be a potential investor, and there's red flags. Like, now, gonna take that on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I will say something though, and I have maybe shared this already on my. But even vetting them and doing your due diligence, takes like got to be good at it because there was one deal that I was involved with that even the cops and the people investigating were in shock. Like literally, we had to applaud them. They did such a good job that anybody could have fallen for it, but there was just that little thing that we slipped through that we didn't catch. And it went from so they did such a good job, and I hope that this helps you. Okay. It's such a good job of it was an agent involved. Okay. Then got me the deal. I then had to raise the capital. I then had a title company, okay, escrow, and they all were working together. So imagine everything sounding so good, right? So they had everything like what a legal address, they had a website, everything lined up, okay? I went to closing, nothing worked. Why? Because it was a scam. They were all worked within each other. So they got everything done all the way up until closing that the fund just sat there and it was actually never a deal. It didn't even exist. I got scammed so bad that even the bank, because I had to go to the bank to do the wire transfer, Even they verified it, and they even verified everything, and they were in shock. The only way we found out that this was a scam was because obviously, one, at closing, it didn't happen. There was just no money there. So my money was gone. It was into this make-believe escrow title. And the way we found out was this guy went for a drive to where they had the title company. The title company address was at a Chinese restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. And that was something I should have done, which was Google, as simple as going on Google and typing the address and going on map view. I would have then second guessed it. And then when I then got there, I didn't believe it. So I had to check after was the like the agent's address. It was another restaurant. So these were all legitimate addresses, but they were not actually the business. So when we say vet and actually do the due diligence, you gotta go deep. Especially if it's your own money, you have to do the work and go as you can. I hope this helps you because believe me, there are some shady people and we are all witnesses of it, like been involved in it. So the last thing we need is for you to do that, and you don't need to. Like you have a good group of people, like a lot of people that were willing to help you out. I vet our own people. So whatever it is that you're looking for that you want to get involved, just reach out. We will help you out. There's not a problem.
Yeah, appreciate that. Just kind of like I need to do more homework here. And while there's a good piece to it that I see and that I resonate with, that I can't let that supersede my analysis of questioning some capital or what it's going towards or where I'm helping out, that I'm not the one that's at the end of the day putting in work and then something's happened to it.
Yeah. I'm so happy you came to this call.
Yeah, it's the timing, because that's literally how I spent an hour and a half earlier. So between the last 48 hours with Millie and then this and now here, like head's gone full circle in 24 hours, but in
a good way. You should thank you for it. So it's good. Okay. Going to wrap this up. I have to say thank you everybody for showing up. I did not expect it to take this long. I'm glad it did because it looked like we saved somebody some money and a headache.
Mhm.
So I am seeing this as a
Yeah,
absolute.
that wasn't a coincidence.
No, it happened for a reason.
No.
It really did.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if there's anything that anybody else wants to say before we head on out, now is the time.
I'll just
I
say
would
thanks
just
for
say
hosting.
that thank you for joining. And then for anyone that needs anything, can feel free to email me. You have my card is on my Zoom background, so you can scan it. And then I'm just gonna, Alexis, if you do have any deals, I understand that you're well connected, and I do want to protect you because it work in finance personally. And I know investor relations is all about really relations, no matter where you go, right? Because you're gonna be in the same group of network. You want to protect your reputation, right? Someone's heart,
Mhm.
like it's one thing, but money, when they lost it, it can always be made bad, hopefully, right? But then your reputation, once it's gone. So I want to
Mhm.
protect you. And then I'm not an expert, but Sergio is so well experienced. And if you feel that there's something you want help, please feel free to reach out. Yeah. Don't think that you're going to be a bother or whatsoever. We're here for each other. Like, I want to help you. And if you feel like, oh,
Mhm.
there's any, we're saying assisted living or RV parks or whatever deals that you think you want to do, but you don't have the capital raising ability, connect with us, connect with Sergio and see
We
how
have
we
it
can
all.
offer assistance.
Oh, that's endless. How many
Oh
people
yeah,
are in this community
you have
doing
no idea.
co-living? Oh,
Please,
Yeah.
buddy, please.
yeah.
Information that I got was a podcast called Capital Raising. It's by Silvis. I listen to that. I think her new episodes come out every Thursday.
Tuesday?
Like,
Oh.
since you haven't before, like something I do. Oh shoot, she left.
Oh,
I
Okay.
logged up by accident. It's all good. I guess what, Minnie, that's your job. You're gonna inform her and let her know because I know
Yeah.
you're gonna be on top of this. You're
Yeah,
guaranteed
Jameer,
gonna
send it to
message
me.
her.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
forward
Yeah,
it to
I got
her.
you.
Send it to me, please.
Send
Okay,
it to right now.
I will do this.
Yes.
Jameer, last things that you want to talk about. I'm gonna go one at a time here.
Aside from that property you sent me.
No, that's another time. We don't have time for that.
Nah,
Not type of
I
guy.
took a look at it. I was like, not tonight.
No, a lot. It is. It's a $14 million portfolio. It's a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else that you want
But
to say?
nah,
Are you good? No? Any, Minnie?
everybody do your thing.
I will have something for you personally, but nothing for the group.
Oh, I do.
Yes, go ahead.
Nito, something I did aside from
Yes,
getting in
sir.
rooms with people who talk about a lot of money is on SoundCloud and listen to a lot of personal development. For 2 years straight, I listened to 6 hours of personal development every single day for like 2 years straight. It really changes your mind because once again, we talked about the average, and it doesn't have to be people it like in situation. It could literally be some virtual person who's talking in your ear. That person counts as somebody in your group, and your mind will shift. I promise, because it happened to me. Just go on SoundCloud, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Eric, Napoleon Hill. I used to listen to Outwitting the Devil religiously. So get on some platform that you can get a hold of those audio files, and then just whenever you got free time, if you're in the car, just listen to however much you can, because those people are going to become part of your circle. You become the average part of the five. You the sixth person. Grow in that mindset. That's it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jimmy. Nito, let's go to you. Do you have anything to say before we head on out?
No, I actually believe in connecting. If I did believe in a network, that's how you grow. Being an experience right now, there was no agenda. We just start talking, and each one starts sharing their experiences and knowledge. Here we are. So I'm just to be here to be able to listen.
Very much.
And mostly for the I think Alexis there on raising there. Yeah, I noticed that there was lack of experiences and connection with people.
So we did good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is important of connecting with people who have knowledge. Learn lesson.
We're like here, we're collectively all brainstorming together to help, and that is the power of community. So again, the power of the community, it's invaluable. Can't put a price on it.
Yeah,
To stay together, right? There's power in numbers because we're all here to help one another. But
we
like
know it.
that's crazy. Alexis isn't even part of
No.
like
No.
yeah, because I've been in the community and I've looked at a few RV park deals. So I know being advised that you treat your capital raisers well and your personal money lenders that you should pay them at least 12 to 18% because then they'll invest in your next deal. Like I know a lot of people, I'm a connector, but even just being in the community and hearing it over and over from different people, I picked up on that. Even though
Mhm.
I that's not my realm
Yeah.
at all, but that's the power again of the community. You attrition, you just pick it up subliminally, kind of saying to Nito, things because your subconscious picks up more than you think. We're actually smarter than we think.
100%.
Except
I
for
100%.
feel like
that
I'm
one.
the only person not in sub 2 right now. But the thing is, it's funny because Alexis, when about her house, it's because I went on to so many paces training, right? And though I didn't join sub 2, but it's because the more that you listen to it, the more you learn. You just grasp the concept. And then I'm in the free Facebook group as well. And you see a lot of scenarios, how people were playing out. So you can pass on the knowledge, right? That's I mean, in your community, but to have people that you can actually share information with. So I'm really glad she joined the call.
I think she is too.
Like,
We
there's
did a good
thank
job.
you all for joining this call tonight.
Yeah, no, it was great. I honestly, genuinely want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, this is one of many, and I know that this is going to grow very quick, um, because I genuinely do believe it and feel it within myself. I would genuinely just appreciate the support that you guys are able to give me, and anything that you guys need, please reach out to me. I genuinely want to help you guys out. Whether if I can't do it, I will get somebody that can. Thank you guys again.
Bye.
Okay, care. Bye.